Right, ladies and gentlemen, right here on this studio, this is Moment with Dave. I have a wonderful gentleman here who, of course, I've known for ages, and is a name that needs no introduction. But for the sake of this very video, I would like him to introduce himself, Dr. Alex.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much, David. I'm Alex Barogun. I'm a consultant, a business strategist. I run different businesses also, let me say companies around 6 African countries.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm also a life coach, and I'm a Nigerian, though having lived in the French country for over 20 years, I am more of French
Then
than English, yes, of
English.
course. Yeah. I'm even more comfortable speaking French now than English.
Okay, when you address yourself as a life coach, and I believe also you have enormous experience when it comes to helping people become who they are.
Hmm.
Can we have a just a little narrative or a little underground background of where you were coming from and how you were able to revolutionize your life within a short period of time?
All right. I came from a very dirty, a very absolutely nothing, let me say zero background. In fact, I didn't have a background. So, having lived on the street in Benin Republic, in a place where you don't actually speak the language, having worked in a public toilet,
Wow.
yeah, I haven't worked. I worked in a school in 2006. I was a cleaner of the school.
Hmm.
Yeah, and the woman just called three of us and said, "I'm about to open a new school." So everyone was fixed based on their competencies and what they can deliver. And at that time, all I could deliver was cleaning. So I became a cleaner.
Because of you had no background at all.
No background at all. So coming from that space, today, being an international business consultant, an entrepreneur running across different countries and all that. So it's a journey. Mm. But I think one of the things that happened to me is because the person that was sleeping on the floor, that was actually at that zero level, is not the
Hmm.
same person of
Yeah,
today.
exactly.
Yeah. So the journey began first in me before it happened outside. So the change has to happen inside before it can happen outside.
Hmm.
And we realize a lot of people are actually aspiring and desiring change on the outside when they have not actually
Change the person on the
on the
inside.
inside. Yes. So and so I went on that journey of change, of total transformation, so that I can transform my life. And that journey of transformation begins first with being exposed to the right information. We become what we hear. Yeah, what we behold, we become. What we
Mm.
hear, we become. So what we are exposed to is what our life will actually give birth to. So exposing my ears, my life to certain kind of information, which I still do, of course, certain kind of information starts challenging my mind.
Mm.
Mm, and changing what I was inside. Information takes a formation inside of you and gives you a different form. Like I usually say, opportunities are not rare. Opportunities are not inexistent. They are. The problem is the version of you it meets is not the version that qualifies to take the advantage of that opportunity. So
Mm.
opportunity knocks on our doors. Next levels knocks on our doors. Next dimension knocks on our doors.
But there
But
is
the,
a kind of person it's actually requiring to be
exactly which we are not yet. That is why we
ready
could
at
do
that point.
exactly. So and that so if you want me to go into details, I can talk about books, of course. Reading books helps me. As I usually say, if you read into books, your life will not hook. So reading books and getting exposed to those information in those books while working at the public toilet.
Mm.
Yes, I was
Okay,
reading
this thing was not actually happening right inside the public toilet.
right while I was working in the public toilet and living inside. I started reading books. I started going for conferences. I remember when I was still in public toilet when I went to Sebelaye, which is called Centre Benoît de Langue Étrangère. It's a
Mm-hmm.
French center. Yeah, English where they teach French. So I went there. I was still in the public toilet. I went to the woman and said, I want to study French. And she said, but the one you're speaking is not bad. I said, the one I'm speaking, I had to read books of primary one, primary two. I spoke a lot with children, knowing that children don't care if you make mistakes or not. I wasn't, there was nothing of shame. So I was speaking more to children to improve my French. I was getting books of primary one, primary two. So the man said, this is good. I said, I just want to sit in the class once in my life and even I just see if what I'm speaking is right.
All right.
And how did I even get the money to pay? While working at the public toilet, by the side is a park. So it's a parking lot. There's a woman that usually comes to park there. She works in the bank. So I had a little money, and I walk up to her and say, please, I want to register for French. This is the amount. I don't have. Can you help me? She doesn't know me. I just say, I see you park here every day. She said, okay, how much do you have? I said, this is what I have already. And that's one principle. You don't go to people with nothing. If you go to people with nothing, it means you are not ready.
Yes.
A proof of readiness is that you have something to put on the table.
Wow.
When the woman went to the prophet, if you permit, went to the prophet and said, "Oh, they want to take my children because their father, the prophet, is late, and now we are owing." He said, "What do you have?"
What do you have?
When Jesus wanted to feed the 5,000, the first question is, "What do you have?" So we always have something, and what you have is a point of contact to the rest. So without that, the rest will not come. So I told the woman, this is what I have. She said, okay, take. She added to it. How could you be in the public toilet and you're still aspiring to go for classes? Normally, you're supposed to say, this is my destiny. No, my destiny is decided by my decisions. My destiny is decided by my choices. So I can decide to make sacrifices for my own growth and progress.
Decision decides destiny.
Decision decides destiny.
Powerful.
So I decided that, and I went to Sibelaye. Listen, watch this. I started learning the French. So there was this exam that we usually pass. The exam comes from France. So I didn't have the money to pass the exam. There was this Lebanese guy beside me that usually help out with his, French. And then the guy said, you're not writing the exam, you're good. I said, I don't have the money. He said, okay, can I pay for you? I said, yes. He paid it, I wrote the exam, and I passed. So what if I hadn't taken that first step of going to the woman? So a lot of times, the resources you need, the things you need, you have to go to them. So, but the problem is we are sitting down also waiting. That's why there is no gift of waiting for miracles. There is gift of working of miracles. So wow. you keep waiting, you're wasting. You have to work it out. And all the things, the little things I've achieved today, I have to work them out. But starting first, I'm exposing myself to the right information.
Wow, that's very powerful. You've mentioned about two gentlemen here. There's one woman and now a Lebanese, which also tells me a lot about the role of people in our everyday advancement. But before I ask you this question, there was a story about this Oprah Winfrey when she was just a little young girl, and she always saw her grandmom washing with some kind of local stuff, and anytime she passed at the back of the house, seeing her grandmom doing that, she said, "I will never live this kind of life. This is not. I will never." So for her, she said that this was the transforming point, the turning point of her life. So from the point where you were in a public toilet, what do you think that was the turning point in your life that made you to say, this French I'm speaking now is not reflecting where I'm going, and this life I'm living now is not reflecting where I need to be? What actually changed?
Yeah, I think it all happened when I was invited to church. Honestly, I never had this mindset. I was just there. I was just living like every other person. I was invited to church. I was invited to Winners Chapel precisely, and I started hearing information. And this is one thing I will say. One of the things that helped me, because it's not just being in church. One of the things that really happened was I had mentors. Wow. You spoke about people.
Yeah.
It's so important. Our own organization is called VIP, Vision Information People. You can't do without people. Exactly. Yeah. So I had mentors, and one of them does this. Each time I go to meet him or I see him, he's always listening to messages. He's always listening to something. Keep your ear busy. Listen to something that speaks about where you're going. Listen to something that speaks to who is in you, what is in you, what can inspire you to become better. He's always so. Each time I see him listen to, I'll watch also. Okay, TD Jakes. So how do you start going to church and 6 months or 7 months down the line, you're already listening to TD Jakes? You're already listening to Pastor Chris. You're already getting exposed to Joel Austin. So such information, I started realizing that I could, in the next 10, 15 years, blame the people who made me to be in the public toilet and say, this is why I am not successful. Or I could say, that happened, but despite that, despite of all that I went through, this is who I've become. So I decided to make that choice. A man had a set of twins. So the man was completely poor, nothing. He was a useless non-entity to his society. So they asked him, so he had a set of twins. So one of the twins was just as poor as him, zero, completely as non-entity as him. So they asked the guy, so why are you poor like your father? He said, I became what I beheld. I didn't have a choice. My father was poor, I am poor. Yeah, I became poor. So they have the second one, who is completely rich, a very important, influential man in the society. So they asked him, how come you are not like your father? You became something else. He said, I didn't have a choice. My father was poor, so I said I will not be poor. How do you interpret events? How do you interpret situations? What do you drive from there? What kind of lessons do you take? What's your takeaway from everything that you experience? Because life is a set of experience. Life is a set of situations. So at each situation, you're making a conclusion. Make sure the conclusion you're making is not going to have a negative impact on your life. That conclusion is having a positive impact. Evaluate situations. People say experience is the best teacher. John Maxwell said no. He said evaluated experience is the best teacher. So I'm evaluating experiences. I'm deriving lessons. I'm deriving keys, principles from my own even personal life experience, and I'm taking it forward.
Wow. Okay, now let me talk about the people stuff. When you see the world we live in today and how people abuse people, how people don't really care about people, if you have a protege you were to mentor, what would you tell them about the need of men in our lives?
Hi. Can I talk?
Talk, man. Talk.
Talking about, I usually say when you shut the door somewhere, be careful how you shut it, because you may need to go through that same door again. People are so important that even God needed people. Jesus needed someone to drop him from the cross. He needed an influential person for where they will bury his physical body. So God even had to come as a person to be able to save the world. So for us, either your financial life, either your marital life, either your professional life, people are the ladder we climb to go forward.
Exactly.
People are the ladder that you will climb to go up or to go higher. So if you despise people, you have thrown away your ladder. And when you are following someone who is your leader, is your ladder. Your leader is your ladder. You throw away your leader, you've thrown away your ladder. And there is no how you can get to certain height without the ladder. It's not possible. You can't get to a six-story building by wishing and by believing. Believing is good, but you need a ladder. You need a lift to get there, and that leader is the lift.
What about the people who use people to climb?
If I use you, it's because you are useful. I'm coming. If I use you because you are useful, if nobody can use you, you are useless. So to be used is a privilege. One.
All right.
Now, the second important thing is the intention. To be here, I have to use people, but not using them as an intention to use and dump.
Dump.
Yeah. If you marry someone, you are using yourselves. In fact,
it's a mutual benefit.
It's a mutual benefit. So I make up my mind. I will be useful to people.
Right.
People should use me. I'm a ladder. I'm a blessing. If the clothes you're wearing today, you bought it with your money to use it. So the clothes is benefiting because it's glory. If not, you can throw. If you throw the cloth away after buying it, the cloth is not happy because it was meant to be used. That's a first concept we should drive. Because people felt, oh, I was used. Don't get angry. No, you are meant to be used. You are created for use. The Bible says it. Now, the thing is, people shouldn't have that bad intention of, let me just get I want and get out. No, don't do that. Because you may think you will never need that person again. You may need the person tomorrow. So think of, how can I help who is helping me?
Exactly. That mutual benefit comes.
Zig Ziglar said, you can get anything in life if you help every other person to get what they want. So my intention is, yes, I need your help, but I'm also analyzing and checking, how can I help you?
Too?
What can I give to you? And there is always something you can give to people. I heard a billionaire said once, he said, every billionaire has a problem. Every billionaire has a problem. So no matter how high he has climbed, he has problems that you can propose solutions for.
Exactly.
So one, proposing that solution can give you access into their life. Two, proposing that solution can give you access to their money that will make you a millionaire.
That's true. That's powerful.
So that's the two. It's a two-side, a two-coin.
A coin of two sides.
It is a coin of two sides, and we must understand the balance. Being used is a privilege.
It's a privilege.
Because I was born to be used. I shouldn't get angry that I was used, because it can make me close doors.
But the person that is using shouldn't think that he is smart enough to use.
Thank you very much.
But rather, why he
take it also as a privilege.
What more can I bring to this person?
Exactly.
That is offering me this kind of.
So one is that, what can I also give to this person in return? Two, the person that is helping me, not to use the word use, the person that is helping me, that I'm using to go forward, I should also take it as a privilege for that person to have made himself available for my growth or for my progress.
All right.
Because if I take it as a privilege, I won't take it for granted. I will be grateful. As they say, if you're not grateful, you're a grateful.
You are a great fool.
Yes.
That's powerful. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Moment with Dave, and this is just a part one of Dave with Alex. And we'll be talking about how he rose from this public toilet into a multi-millionaire coach, life coach, traveling from every places of the world. And we'll be learning some secrets of success when we come to part two of this very series. Thank you. God bless you. Thanks, Alex. It's a privilege. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.